Tell me about where efforts stand right now as far as getting Americans safely out of the Middle East.
So since this began, we've seen over 36,000 Americans be able to return home to the United States from the Middle East. We've also seen our 24/7 task force assist over 23,000 Americans abroad that are looking to depart the region. We've seen nearly or approximately 24 charter flights leave the region over the last few days. We have surged resources to the region in order to connect Americans with specific travel options. And right now we have hundreds of personnel that are fielding calls, proactively making calls, and identifying travel options and sharing security guidance as appropriate with those that are reaching out to us for assistance.
Do you know, are these people that were there on vacation? Are they citizens that were living over there? Do we have any idea kind of the breakdown of who these Americans are that were found themselves over in the Middle East when this conflict broke out?
Well, it's really a case-by-case basis. There are some cases of tourism, some cases of students, for example. Of course, there are business opportunities over there as well. There are some dual citizens, so it really is a case-by-case basis. What we're actually finding now that when we're proactively reaching out to Americans, we're seeing that of the Americans that have contacted us, when we reach out to them with a specific U.S. arranged departure option, over half are actually declining that option in favor of either a commercial option, another travel option, or to stay in the region. We're continuing to identify specific travel options and security guidance as appropriate for Americans that are reaching out for assistance. That's why calling +1 202 501 4444 is so important. That's why registering at step.state.gov is so important, so you can get those security alerts for your specific country, where you are, and also keeping an eye on what the embassy is putting out as well, which is updating their security guidance for Americans in their country or region throughout the day.
When you said the options that the government's provided, help me understand what that looks like. If these aren't commercial flights, are these military planes? Are these State Department planes? Um, what exactly is that?
Well, we've seen approximately 24 charter flights leave the region, so we have surged resources there. We've surged charter flights options. It
So that
also
would be
includes,
chartered by the government, by the U.S. government, to get
yes, and
people out.
those are at no
Gotcha.
cost for the American citizens at this time. We also have charter buses from areas where airspace is closed to where airspace is open for either a commercial option or a charter flight option from there. It's really important that Americans register to express their interest, so that we know to proactively reach out to you. We know where you are. We can identify that specific travel option. But when I say government arranged travel options, talking about those charter flight options, when we reach out to Americans that have contacted us, currently over half of Americans are turning down those government arranged travel options in favor of a commercial option, another travel option, or to stay in the region.
And walk me through again how easy it is for Americans over in the Middle East to register with the State Department and monitor this process.
So they can call +1 202 501 4444. We have hundreds of personnel that are right now fielding calls and then proactively reaching out to people with that guidance as appropriate. Or they can go to state.gov, where they will see a link to a form where they can register their interest. So again, those two options that Americans can go to are +1 202 501 4444 with those hundreds of personnel fielding calls, or go to state.gov to that link where they will then see a travel intake form to register their interest if they want to depart the region.
You may have said this in your first answer, because I know you're throwing out some numbers, so forgive me. But how many? Do you have any gauge of how many Americans are in the Middle East? How are you guys monitoring numbers?
Well, it's really important that Americans register to express that interest so that we know where they are and we connect them with that option. We have seen, like I said, over 23,000 Americans directly assisted by the 24/7 task force. We surge resources in order to help the American people. But again, vitally important that if people want to depart the region, they call or go online to register their interest so that we know that you're looking to depart and can connect you with that specific travel guidance, security guidance, those travel options to bring you home should you desire to come home.
What do you have to say to Americans who maybe had preset plans, business trips, vacations, personal, for whatever reason, heading over to the Middle East as personal entities? What's the State Department's messaging regarding travel of Americans, heading towards the Middle East right now?
Well, I would say go to travel.state.gov to see the latest travel advice. You can also look at the embassy or consulate in the region or country that you are going to for the latest security advice. That'll give you the latest guidance that's happening. That'll give you our latest diplomatic posture in terms of our diplomatic facilities in that country or region. It gives you the information you need to be fully informed. And then please register at step.state.gov, especially if you're in the region. Really, if you're traveling anywhere in the world, registering at step.state.gov lets you get those security alerts should the situation change.
Is there anything else that you think is important for the American public to know right now?
Our highest priority is the safety and security of the American people. That's why we've surged these resources to help those that want to come home, to bring them home. We are dedicated to bringing every single American that wants to come home, home.
Do you anticipate the need for any more resource surges in the coming days or weeks?
Well, we have surged those resources. We're seeing charter flights underway. We're continuing to have that call center, hundreds of personnel. I actually came from one of the task force rooms just recently and can speak to the experienced personnel that are right now identifying those specific travel options with specific individuals, getting them the exact information they need to depart the region should they desire to do so.